Let's move on to the game this weekend. Tottenham against Liverpool at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've never beaten them there.
No.
They've come there twice, I think it is now, and they've won twice. They've given us a torrid time of late. But to be fair to Spurs, actually, we've actually been giving them not bad games over the past couple of years, haven't we?
Well, last season, I think we were well beaten. The season before that...
last season, when we went there with Jose Mourinho to Anfield, we played quite well.
Oh, is it Anfield? No, it's at home.
I know it's at home. I'm talking about just us against Liverpool as a whole.
Yeah. No, at Anfield, we should have got something out of that
even
game.
At the Tottenham Stadium, wasn't it, when Tanganga made his debut and Lo Celso missed that chance?
One, I'm saying that one we played well. We should have got a point. I'm saying last season we were well beaten. That's the last time we played them. That was in like January or February last season.
Mm-hmm.
We lost 3-1, but it probably could have been more, if I remember rightly. They dominated, and even though that's when Kane went off at half time, I remember Son had that goal ruled out for offside where it was very, very marginal. But Liverpool on great form right now. You got to remember as well, we were playing Liverpool at a great time last time. And we still couldn't beat them. We still got battered. We were playing Liverpool no centre backs, even when we played them at Anfield when we lost 2-1, and we should have got something out of the game. Again, playing them, I believe, with no centre backs. They were playing Henderson as centre back, I think, weren't they?
I think you're right, yeah.
So now they got Van Dijk back, Matip. Although
was Van Dijk yesterday, he didn't play.
Yeah, actually, we don't know if they're going to have Van Dijk because he tested positive.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah.
There are 3 positive cases now, Liverpool.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh,
him.
God.
Yeah, exactly. It was him. I can't remember who else it was. It was someone put it in the group.
Fabinho.
Fabinho. What else was it? And someone put it in the group. Him, Fabinho, and one sec.
So basically what you're saying to me is that they're going to get many more cases by tomorrow
Curtis
morning,
Jones.
and then the game will be off.
That's the thing. It's 3 cases now. How many cases are going to be by tomorrow and by Sunday? You could even be called off Sunday morning. It's happened enough times now. We don't, like, if they wake up Sunday, look, it could be 3 cases until Sunday, and then they wake up Sunday morning and it's 8 cases.
There is actually a genuine chance this game's going to get called off then.
Yeah, definitely. I think from Tottenham's point of view, I don't see an issue with it going ahead at this point, considering we were going to play on Thursday. I don't believe we had any more cases since earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're okay. But now Liverpool are going through it. So, and that's the thing. Once there's 3 cases, you know there's a good chance there's more because they've all been together, all been in and around. That's why I'm with Tottenham. It started off with a few cases, and it just
started off with 2, didn't it?
Yeah.
Hill and Emerson,
and then all of a sudden,
like wildfire,
everyone had it pretty much. So it's hard to say whether this game's going to go ahead. We have to. I mean, it's just a waiting game, but I hope it does. I really hope it does because I miss Tottenham playing.
Dying to see Spurs play again.
I want to see the disappointment. I'm desperate for the disappointment.
I'm addicted to the disappointment. Addicted to it.
Liverpool are going to be a unbelievable. Look, even without Van Dijk, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be very, very difficult. They're on great form. They're very, very hard. I know West Ham beat them a few weeks ago, but they're so hard to beat, and the way they're playing at the moment, with such intensity. Salah on top of his game. That front three of Mane, Jota, and Salah are so hard to play against. And as well, I think coming up against our formation, I can see them getting a lot of joy because I can see Trent and Robertson really penning us back, or either penning us back or getting a lot of joy in the wide areas. Either way, it's going to be very, very difficult to stop them. And
that's the thing, though. You can have all the game plan you want against Liverpool, and it just gets thrown out the window because of their quality. Their fullbacks are just way too strong. Salah and Mane absolutely smashing everyone at the moment, and it's going to be another thoughtly close title battle, isn't it, between Man City and Liverpool? It looks like again this season. Chelsea
faltering a bit,
off a tiny bit. Liverpool are the team to beat at the moment, them and Man City, and it's going to be very, very difficult game.
They're back to their best, pretty much. Yeah. They're not. They're maybe not. Well, you could argue they're very best. They're literally rolling teams over. They look like in tandem again. It just goes to show you what a difference having your first choice backline or a backline you can rely on can give confidence to the rest of the team.
Or any backline in general. They didn't have a backline last year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, a backline you can rely not to... Because last season, when they had no backline, they weren't like letting in 5-6 goals a game. It wasn't like, except for obviously that Villa game where they got battered 7-2 or whatever it was. Like, they were losing like 1-0 at home to Fulham. You know what I mean? It's because they didn't have that confidence in their backline to really go at teams. They always felt like they had to cover for the defenders whenever, like in every situation. But now, when you have Van Dijk or there, when you have Conte and Matip and Gomez in your backline, you know you can go forward, you can go at teams, and that if they come at you, you have those defenders there ready to destroy their attacks, and you can have confidence in them. And it allows Salah and Mane to step up the pitch a lot more and get in dangerous areas, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And the midfielders as well. You're seeing the midfielders really press and being so aggressive, whereas last season they dropped off a bit. They were maybe a bit more pragmatic. So I think Liverpool now, it's like with Conte as well, despite the fact that he's been here, what, 6 weeks now, but the last couple of weeks, how much quality time on the training pitch has he actually had? Who knows?
Not a lot, that's for sure.
Only this week have we been back on, and it hasn't been everyone. So I still, like, we're still playing catch up, and Liverpool is such a well-oiled machine. I see it being very, very, unless we kind of grind out a draw, I see it very difficult getting a result in this game.
I kind of look at this game as a bit of a free hit because, everyone's expecting a loss against a very, very good side, and anything that we can get apart from a loss is going to be a bonus for us. And I look at this game as a free hit. Take this game, get whatever you can from it. If you lose and play well, then fair enough. You're getting done by the better side, that's for sure. But after this game, we've got a nice kind of run of fixtures again. So I think, just do what you can in this game and then really concentrate on the next run coming up, because it's a free hit for me, this one.
I also feel like the Liverpool, considering the situation we've been in with COVID, are probably the worst team to come up against how they play. They demand so much from you physically. They're such a physical team to play against.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
They smother you, don't they?
Exactly.
They absolutely smother you.
Emerson and Reguilon might not play, or Sessegnon, we'll see. They have to be like on top of their game. They have to be physically tracking Trent, and not only tracking Trent and Robertson, but they also have got to be exploiting the space that they leave, so you can make better use of that. And you can, and especially with the space Trent leaves, like on his right hand side. We know he's not the best defender, but they demand so much of you physically. It's going to be very, very difficult. We're going to have Skip and Højbjerg back, or one of them back for Sunday. Who knows? And considering how much energy those central midfielders put in, like, they hound you and they harass you and they don't give you a second to breathe, and they also break past you. They get into the box, and how we're going to manage that when these players are physically recovering, it's going to be very, very difficult. So I envisage a very difficult game. I envisage Conte being pragmatic in this game and trying to either keep the score low or trying to contain Liverpool and get and grind out a draw. That's like the best route. I can't see us, except on maybe some counter-attacks. Son and Lucas are going to be available because they probably weren't going to play on Sunday. And if those two players are available, maybe there's a chance on some counters we can hurt them. But if they're not
available, though, how actual match fit and how long can they actually
even if they can play an hour, you know what I mean?
And, a player that I've been really enjoying watching this year for Liverpool, who took a while to get into his days at Liverpool, but now I think he's fully fledged there and playing really well, in Thiago Alcantara.
Yeah, what a player.
He is absolutely playing unbelievable at the moment, controlling things from the middle. His energy is unbelievable. And, he took a while to get into it, didn't he? But he's here, and he's introduced to the Premier League while Jurgen Klopp brought him in to replace Gigi Wijnaldum.
And he's allowing them a bit more guile in the centre, whereas I feel like a lot of the time they're at their best where they're 100%, which it still is, where they're like going at teams at full pelt, rock and roll, as Klopp used to say. But Thiago allows them, with his passing ability, with his patience, with his pace setting in the central midfield, he allows them the opportunity to just breathe a bit, maybe allow teams to settle in their defensive shape, and he has the quality to break them down. And that's what we're seeing now with Thiago. So now he's adding an extra element to Liverpool's game, I feel. He's
one of these players that he always seems like he's got a lot of time on the ball, just because of his awareness of the football pitch, of his... He's like got eyes on the back of his head, Thiago. He's just an unbelievable player. He really is. And
he's going to be difficult to stop.
Yeah, when you marry him with, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Thiago Jota. Oh, my God, Jota. The way he's playing at the moment. He gets like 5 or 6 chances a game.
Yeah.
5 or 6 chances.
Well,
you got
to think about it. It's not out of nowhere because you got to think about it when you got Salah and Mane there, how much attention they demand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's always going to leave space for another player. And Jota's exploiting that, absolutely exploiting it, and he's good enough to be contributing goals and assists. He's seen that already.
Getting better and better and better.
He's taken on that role. Firmino, in an interesting way, was more of a creative player in that centre. Jota might not be as creative, but he definitely is more of a goal threat. That's for sure. And he gets in behind, he gets in your face. He's not afraid to get a shot off, and he's been a really, really brilliant. They've got two options there, in Firmino and Jota, and it's really Jota with his goals is definitely lifting the burden slightly on Salah and Mane. But looking at Liverpool, if the AFCON goes ahead, how badly do you see it affecting them?
Massively. I can see it massively affecting them. Salah and Mane out, I think, and 1 or 2 other players as well, maybe potentially out as well for them. But those 2 players alone, I think it will affect them massively. And that's a reason as well why I said the other day where I think Man City are going to end up winning this title. Because I think Chelsea are kind of dawdling at the moment. Liverpool and Man City looking like the 2 clear front runners, but I think they're going to miss a lot when they go for the most part of January.
Do you know what? Do you reckon they'll struggle a lot without them?
They'll struggle, yeah. I think they'll still win games, but there will be those games where Salah and Mane kind of like breeze them through those games. Maybe if they win by 1 or 2 goals, you know what I mean? When Salah and Mane score those goals, I think they'll be struggling for goals. They'll miss their goals.
I think when they got Brentford at home, Palace away, Leicester at home, Burnley away. Oh, that's in February already. I don't know when they're back, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they can cope.
Maybe.
I feel like when you got a front 3, they'll probably have a front 3 of what, Firmino, Jota, and Origi or Minamino. It's not necessarily that front 3. Obviously, is nowhere near Salah Mane, obviously, but because their team structure, because they got that defense in place now, where it looks solid again, like I reckon they should be able to still grind out results.
They will be able to grind out results, but they won't. I don't know if they'll be able to grind out every result. That's the thing, because you've got to look at these 2 teams, Man City and Liverpool. They're both due. The winner of this league is going to finish on, I think, 90 points or above probably this season, right? So every single point is massive in this title race, and I think that even if they drop off just 1 or 2 games, it's going to be big in this title race. And if it's a tight game and they're looking for 1 player or 2 players to pull them through in that game, Salah and Mane are going to be those 2 players that are going to pull them through in that game. And like you say, those are the 2 players that really are making the space for Jota. So I think if there are any tight games in January, there's a chance that they won't come through in it.
I just feel like because their defensive structure, they're still going to be able to keep clean sheets. And then if Jota or Firmino, and if they can come up with something, because they still got there. I know their 2 best players are missing, but they still got that team structure there. But you're right. Even if it's 1 game, then that's bad enough. Because it's kind of between Liverpool and City recently, it's kind of been you have to be faultless to win, and that's it. And it's looking like that again this year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in January with them if there is a drop off or if they can make it through. But
who would their front 3 be?
Firmino, Jota, and either Origi or Minamino, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that's good enough.
I think it is. I think it is good enough to grind out results. Not over a long period, but over a month. Over a month period where they know that they can rely on them and they still got those. It's not like defenders are missing. I think it could be good enough. And those you got Ox as well, who can maybe fill in the front 3 occasionally.
I'm not too sure. But look, in terms of how the game is going to go on Sunday, I mean, I expect Antonio to maybe set us up in a kind of mid-block, but I really fully expect Trent and Robertson to push us all the way back where we end up being in a kind of low block.
Yeah.
And that happens to a lot of teams that face Liverpool.
You're forced into it.
They don't intend to sit in a low block, but you just end up being forced into it by the sheer work rate of Liverpool, by the sheer pressing of Liverpool, and that's what's probably going to happen this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't see any other way. Because of just how intense they are, and we're not going to be at our best physically. Even personnel-wise, we probably won't be as well. So I can't see any other way but to try and grind out a draw or something out of this game. And can we rely on our defence to keep out Liverpool? Probably not. But it's going to be so difficult. It's going to be so difficult. Kane is well not firing, so can we have confidence that he's going to make the most of any opportunities that fall to him? Maybe not. So it's going to be very, very difficult to get a result. But look, you never know. Under Mourinho, that game where we lost 1-0, we just hung in there, didn't we? We were kind of getting peppered for the whole game, and then the last 15 minutes, we really went at them and should have got a point out of it in the end. So maybe that's kind of what we got to go for in this kind of game. It's going to be interesting how Conte approaches it.
It is. Well, I think we know we're going to set up very compact. We're going to set up in a kind of mid-block, and we're going to try and hit him on the counter-attack, hit him in the transitions and stuff like that.
But he could because he could maybe put 3 in the centre, beef up in the midfield. Maybe he does want to be outnumbered and get put 2 up front. That might be the best way to try and hurt them. Or does he keep players out wide and try and exploit the space that is going to be left behind Trent and Robertson, and try and get in down the sides? It's going to be interesting. I don't know. But then you lose numbers in midfield, and if you let Liverpool dominate midfield, it's going to be very difficult. Yeah. So it's a catch-22, I guess, for Conte, how he approaches it. But you got to also think about physically, because physically we're not our best. How best is it to approach this game when we're not physically going to be our best? And it's not.
I think it's a near on impossible task with what's happened to Spurs recently in terms of hardly anyone's been training. The players coming back from COVID, they're not going to be at their fully fittest. So I think we're facing a massively uphill battle this weekend, and it's going to be near on impossible to get all 3 points in the game, especially, and even get a point in this game. It's going to be near on impossible, in my opinion. Sorry, I can't be more positive, but I think that's the truth, to be honest.
Well, that's the nature of the Liverpool at the moment. You've got to respect their quality. You've got to know who you're coming up against. Even without
the COVID thing, like if both teams were at full strength, you know what I mean, it'd be very hard, but there would always be a chance. But I just can't see a chance in under the circumstances this time.
Maybe our best bet is it gets postponed. Have Romero back by the time we play them again.
Yeah.
How many games have we actually played since Romero got injured? Is it 1 or 2? No, 2 games. Yeah, Brentford Leeds and Norwich. Did he not play against Leeds? No, he didn't, did he?
No, Leeds was the game after the international break, wasn't it?
So Leeds, 3 games.
Yeah. But anyway, what is your score prediction going into it?
Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose. It's a shame to say. I think we're going to lose, and we probably by 2 goals. I think.
I was thinking 3-1.
Yeah, I would like to think we're going to score, but something tells me we're not even going to score. That's what I'm worried about. I think like 3-0.
3-0.
Might be 3-0.
Wow.
I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just worried. Depends, if Davis isn't playing, then the back line is compromised as well. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. If Sessegnon's going to be playing on the left, Emerson. If Emerson's not fully fit,
should be playing.
Who?
The players you just mentioned, because Davis, I think we heard the rumours that only Skip and Højbjerg won't be playing for that Leicester game, and the rest of them should have been in for the Liverpool game.
No, but he's saying that they were only ready to play 20 to 25 minutes on Thursday.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean now they definitely. It means they can probably be, consider we didn't play at all on Thursday. It means obviously they're going to be fitter for Sunday, but doesn't mean they're ready to play 90 minutes. And even if they are ready to play 90 minutes, doesn't mean they're on top of their game. You know what I mean? Top of their physical game. It just means they can get through a 90-minute game. Yeah. Doesn't mean they're like ready to go like 100%. Exactly. You know what I mean? Against Liverpool, it's not just about being able to play 90 minutes. You have to be at your very best, at the top of your game. There's no room for error in anything. And even if, say Reguilon is a late fitness test here and he's ready to play, do I back him to literally be on top of his game again up against Trent Alexander-Arnold and get the better of him? I don't, unfortunately. Unless he's literally at the top of his game, physically ready for it. It's going to be very, very difficult. So I don't know. And structurally, they're ahead of us.
Have an off game. You never know.
Yeah, then we can get a draw.
All right, well, very negative from us, unfortunately, today, but that is your match preview. That's what it is when you come up against Liverpool. They're an absolutely top side. Them and Man City, in my opinion, the best two sides in Europe at the moment.
Which got to hope Conte has some sort of plan up his sleeve to combat what they got to offer.
Sure he will.
We have to hope that, and they have an off day. Basically, you have to hope those two things, and the plan works. That's what we're hoping for. And you never know; stranger things have happened. But at the moment, how I see things, it's difficult to see anything but a defeat.